Hello, welcome to my channel where mathematics is fun and super easy. Today, we are going to consider basic rules in mathematics. Basic rules in mathematics. If you have ever wondered if this expression and this expression will give you the same answer, then you need to watch this video. Now, sometimes an exponent, no matter how small it is, and a bracket can change your answer. Now let's look at the first expression or the first question we have here. Here we have minus 3 squared. And here we have minus 3 in a bracket, then it is squared. Okay? These two will not give you the same answer. Now in this case, the square affects 3 alone and has nothing to do with the minus sign. So 3 squared is equal to 9. And then you add your minus sign. So minus 3 square will give you minus 9. Remember, 3 square is the same thing as 3 times 3, which is 9. Then you bring down your minus sign. Okay. Now, in this case, we have minus 3 in a bracket, and then there is a square. This square affects both the minus sign and the number 3. So this is going to be equal to minus 3 times minus 3. Okay? Minus times minus is plus. 3 times 3 is 9. So here we're going to have plus 9. So you can see that this particular expression gave us minus 9, while this one gave us plus 9. All right? Okay, so let's go to the second one. We have in bracket a plus b squared. Okay, and then we have a times b all squared. Okay, these two are not the same and they will not give you the same answer. Now this is the same thing as saying a plus b in bracket times a plus b. Okay, let me write it out. So this is a plus b multiplied by a plus b. So if you multiply this out, you're going to have a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So this expression here gives you this answer. Now in this case, it's totally different. So here we are going to have, this is equal to a squared times b squared. So this is what this will give to you. All right, so we go to the next one. So in number 3, we have x times x. This dot here represents multiplication. And here we have x plus x. X times x and x plus x will not give you the same answer. So x times x, remember the law of indices. If you're multiplying, two variables like this, there is an invisible one here and there is another invisible one here. So this will give us x raised to power 1 plus 1, which will be equal to x squared. Okay, so x times x will give you x squared. If you have b times b, is b squared. A times a is a squared. Okay, now in this very one, we have x plus x. Now, there is an invisible coefficient here, which is 1. And here, there is 1. So, we have 1x plus 1x, but we don't need to write it because it's 1. Okay? So, 1x plus 1x will give you 2x. If you have a plus a, you're going to have 2a. B plus b will give you 2b. Y plus y will give you 2y. That is how this applies. Okay, we come to the next one. Now we have root a times b. Root a times b can also be written as root a times root b. But in this case, root a plus b remains the way it is. Root a plus b, it remains like that. It doesn't change. it remains like this. But in this case, you can actually, simplify it further this way. All right, so we go to the next part. So here, number 5, we have 1 raised to power 0. Any number raised to power 0 is equal to 1. 100 raised to power 0 will still give you 1. 1000 raised to power 0 will still give you 1. Now, look at the next one. 0 raised to power 1 is 0. Even if you say 0 raised to power 100, it will still give you 0. Right? Okay, number 6. We have x raised to power n times x raised to power m. Applying the law of indices, you take one of the base and you add the powers, right? So this is going to give us x raised to power n plus m. Okay? But in this case, what are we going to do in this case? X raised to power n plus x raised to power m. X raised to power n plus x raised to power m remains the way it is. You can't do anything about it. So for the next question, we have the square root of -2 all squared. And on this side, we have the square root of -2, but now it is inside a bracket and the square is outside. These two expressions will not give you the same answer. Now, in this first one here, the minus sign is affected by the square. The number 2 is also affected by the square. So if you say minus times minus, because minus square is minus times minus, 2 square is 2 times 2. So minus square is minus times minus, which will give us plus. And then 2 square is 2 times 2, which will give us 4. So this will be equal to 2, because the square root of 4 is what? 2 plus 2. Okay? Now, in this case, the square is outside, so it has nothing to do with the -2 in here. So these 2 here will cancel the root, and we are going to be left with -2. You can see that these two expressions gave us different answers. This is +2 and this is -2. Now let's look at number 8. In this case, we have a plus b divided by a, and then where we have a times b divided by a. They are not the same. Now, in this very one, a plus b, a and b shares a common denominator, so we can split the fraction. So this will be equal to a divided by a plus b divided by a. A divided by a is 1, right? So we are going to have 1 plus b over a. This is the answer to this expression. Now, in this case, it's totally different. Here, a divided by a will give us 1. 1 times b is equal to b. Is equal to b. So you can see that from the first expression to the last one, none of them gave us the same answer. So whenever you have a little exponent or a bracket, it can alter your answer. Thank you for watching this video. Do like, share, and subscribe to this channel. If you're a returning subscriber, I am grateful to have you back. I will see you again in my next video.